Hey everybody, and welcome back to This Will and Can. I am your host, Janice Sutherland, career strategist for the Black woman over 40. Now, in a previous podcast episode, The Power of Purpose, Finding Your Mid-Career Why, I spoke about how beneficial, even life-changing, knowing and following your purpose in your midlife can be. And you know what? That really sparked some serious conversation. And if you didn't get to hear it, I'll leave a link in the show notes for you. Now, over my years of working as a career strategist, I have heard numerous, plenty reasons as to why women over 40 are just that little bit reticent or a lot reticent to make a mid-career change. Some women feel like they're too old to start over a new career and worry that they won't be able to keep up with some of their younger colleagues. Then there's the money issue, the money concerns. And I'm not going to say they're not real, because they are real for many of us. Because many of us over 40 may have financial responsibilities, mortgages, children's education, retirement savings that we're working out, that we feel it may make it very difficult to take a risk by leaving a stable job to pursue a new career. Not just that, though. It is well documented that due to systemic discrimination, Black women are more likely to be paid less and have fewer access to resources. A lack of experience in the desired field they want to go in can also play a part, as they feel like they don't have the skills or experience needed to make a successful transition to that new career, the one they've got their eye on. Fear of failure, that's another one, and that's probably the big one for us, a huge one, because as Black women, we're often taught that failure is not an option if we're to be seen as successful, because, the two don't go together. And the idea of starting over in a new career, stepping into the unknown, can be really intimidating and, yes, fearful. We're also faced with a perceived lack of opportunities. And I say perceived because some women may feel like there aren't many job opportunities available to them in a new field, especially if they think they're starting from scratch. But there are ways to get around that. There are ways to find opportunities that aren't always presented to us. There can be difficulty balancing work and family responsibilities, with many women having caregiving responsibilities for children, or as I've found recently, for elderly relatives, which can make it really challenging to really even consider making a career change, because they have to factor all those matters in. And add to that, it goes on, the list goes on. But add to that, being a Black woman, those concerns really do multiply when you add, I mentioned little before, systemic racism, which can lead to fewer opportunities, lower pay, and fewer chances to advance in careers. It can make it more challenging to consider career change if women feel like their options are limited. And as I work with many women over 40, intersectional discrimination is foremost, because many Black women over 40 may face both gender, race, and age discrimination in the workplace, which, when it comes down to, can make it feel harder. I'm not saying it's impossible, but make it feel harder to feel confident in making a career change. This can lead to feelings of imposter syndrome and low self-confidence. And then, dare I say, lack of representation is a long list here. But whilst there's been some progress, some women don't see there aren't many women who look like them sometimes in their desired fields, which can make it even harder for them to envisage themselves in those roles. But with all of that, with all of these excuses or reasons, the question I always ask a new potential client is, do you see yourself being happy in your current career the next 5 to 10 years? That really puts some stops in their tracks, because rarely do I hear a yes to that question. And then I follow that up with saying, don't you deserve to be in a career you enjoy? Haven't you earned it? Because you've worked really hard to get this far. And it's at this point I often pause, and you can do the same here, pause our session and allow my client time to reflect on these points as their homework. And you may want to do that after listening to this podcast or watching this episode. You see, being deserving of a happy, fulfilling career isn't something we as women place as a criteria for career success. So I'm going to share a little experience. A former client I worked with, Michelle, that's her name. I changed her name, protect her identity. But Michelle came to me feeling really stuck in her career of 20 years. She had been very successful. She had worked her way up to a successful leadership position. But despite that success, she still felt a little unfulfilled. She still felt stagnant in her role. So initially we talked, and as we talked, she shared that she'd always dreamed of pursuing a career in art and design, very, very much removed from where she was currently, but she felt like it was too late to change careers, change jobs. She'd invested so much time, money, effort into her current career that she felt she couldn't start over again in a new field. And that's a common fear. Additionally, Michelle was the primary breadwinner in her family, and she worried about the financial risks of leaving a stable job to pursue something new, something she thought could be a little bit risky because, she felt she'd be starting over. So little time passed, and Michelle had noticed over that period that her feelings of dissatisfaction weren't going away. They were just growing stronger, and she began to feel increasingly stuck and hopeless. She also found herself taking out that frustration on her family. She just couldn't shake that feeling that she was wasting her potential and missing out on the chance to really go after her true passions. And I've always said, discomfort in your career manifests itself in different ways. So working together using one of my mid-career change models, Michelle was really able to overcome her fears and doubts, which is great news, eventually finding the courage to start exploring new career options. She started with simple things like reaching out to people in the art and design community just to get a feel what it's actually like to work in that field. She took classes and workshops in her spare time because that was even therapeutic, and even started working on her own creative projects, should I say. Remember, I haven't said she's left her job. And over time, Michelle began to feel far more confident and excited about the prospect of a career change. She also realised that it was never too late. I'm going to tell you this again. It's never too late to pursue her dreams, and that her age and experience could actually work to her advantage in a new field. Eventually, Michelle made the decision to leave her old job and start a career in her new field of art and design. And though that transition was not without its challenges, not all smooth sailing, she felt a sense of fulfillment and joy that she hadn't experienced before when the latter part of her career. In the day she probably had, but latterly she hadn't been. And looking back on her journey, Michelle realised that the only thing holding her back from making a career change was her own fear and self-doubt. She felt grateful for the support of her family and friends, and really proud, and she should be proud of herself for having the courage to pursue her dreams despite the obstacles she felt were in the way. Now, ultimately, if you heard that, ultimately it's up to you to decide if your career makes you happy. It's down to you. You're the one in that career. So don't let anyone else make that choice for you. And let's be real. Yeah, I'll be honest, not all of us have the luxury of choosing our dream career right off the bat. Sometimes we have to grind in dead-end jobs, get-you-by jobs, I call them, or positions that really don't inspire us, light our fire. Because obviously, we have bills to pay, we have mouths to feed, we have responsibilities that keep us from chasing our dreams. And it can feel like we're stuck in a rut with no way out before we really find what is really working for us. But I'm going to caveat that doesn't mean you have to suffer through it forever. You don't have to give up on your career happiness or your own personal happiness. You do deserve to feel fulfilled and excited about the work you do. It's not going to be easy. It might take some time and hard work to get there. But once you keep working towards your goals and never settle for anything less than what you truly, truly want, it can happen. because your dreams are, and I say it again, your dreams are worth fighting for. Your happiness, your personal happiness should always be a priority. You should be number one when it comes to this. And if you need some support, some help, some guidance, you know where to find me. Contact me at info@janissutherland.com. Go to my website, janissutherland.com, or hit me up on all the socials. I am Janice Sutherland, so we can talk further about how I can support your career change or your next career move. And as always, remember, if I can, you can, this woman can. Take care until next time.